Students, in the last class we discussed about resistance and also we discussed about the cell, how the current is flowing through a circuit, that also we discussed. And one thing I think I missed, that I just discussed about thermal velocity of the electrons, that is the velocity of the electrons when the electrons are capable of moving on the surface of a conductor, but when the electrons are initiated to be channelized, that is when one external thrust is given by one cell, and due to the potential difference acting between the two terminals of the battery, the electrons, we all know the electrons are channelized to flow through a particular direction, that is from negative to the positive terminal of the battery, and this velocity of the electron when they are initiated is known as drift velocity. So it is also very important to note down, that is, one is thermal velocity of the electron when it is not initiated by any potential difference, and drift velocity of the electron, that is when the electrons are initiated by one potential difference. So today we will be knowing one new thing, that I told that resistance is depending on the physical criteria of the conductor, that is length and cross-sectional area. That if the length is more, then the resistance is more, and if the cross-sectional area is more, then the resistance is less. But these two are not only the factors that is affecting resistance, there is also temperature. That is, if the temperature is increased, then the resistance would also be increased, and sometimes light is also just making some effect on resistance. Now first of all, we will be just considering that whenever we will be just dealing with any of the experiments of resistance, we have to maintain the temperature, because if temperature is increased, then just I have told that resistance would also be changed. It is affecting the resistance. And Ohm's law, this is a very basic law of current electricity, and to just establish Ohm law, or just to go with the Ohm law, or just to go for the definition of Ohm's law, we just have to be very keen with the representation of the laws. That is, if that I always used to say that whenever some law you will be writing, that shouldn't be coming from yourself. That is, the law means one scientist has given it by those very words, by that very way. So you don't have to put your own word, you just memorize it as it is. So what is Ohm's law? You have to understand it, that if one conductor is there, and we all know that suppose we are just going for a torch. If we are just going for a 2 battery torch, and if we are just going for a 4 battery torch, do you think it will be giving the same amount of light? Obviously not. The current will be more for 4 battery charge, 4 battery torch, and current will be less for 2 battery torch. Now why it is so? As because the potential difference that is applied in the circuit by 4 batteries obviously will be more than the potential difference that is applied between the 2 terminals of the circuit for a 2 battery torch. So it is very clear from our that is practical experience, that if the potential difference applied is more, then the current would also be more. That is the statement of Ohm's law, that the current through a conductor is proportional to the potential difference applied at the applied from the 2 terminals of the conductor if temperature is maintained. So why I am telling that? Because temperature is affecting the resistance. So the statement of the Ohm's law, we will be going like that: if temperature and other physical conditions are maintained. Other physical conditions means that if the length is increased, then the resistance would be increased. If the cross-sectional area would be increased, then the resistance will be decreased. So we shouldn't be changing that things. And not only that, we have to maintain the temperature also, because if suppose the conductor is too much heated, then it would also imply some resistance to the circuit. So not only temperature, but the physical, all the conditions should also be maintained, and in this condition we can see that the current is proportional to the potential difference that is applied from the two terminals of the battery. So you will be just memorizing how it is written in your book. Now what is a circuit? Now circuit means this is one arrangement where we are connecting one resistance, we are connecting one cell, and we are connecting a switch. Now resistance means what? It may be one bulb, it may be one fan. That are also the resistances in our household, that means workings. Now if I am just adding one bulb in a circuit, suppose we are making, because we can make it from one cell, that one battery box we are using, and from the two terminals of the battery box two wires are coming out, and now we are adding this with a bulb through a switch. Now why switch? Because sometimes I want to make it on, and sometimes I want to make it off. So if switch is not there, so we cannot make the circuit off. So one circuit must be having all these things. And now we can see that if the power of the battery is increasing, then the current, or if we are adding one ammeter. Now what is ammeter? In the last class I told that ammeter is that very device by which we can measure the current through the circuit, and voltmeter is that very device by which we can have the potential difference between the two terminals of any circuit or from any two ends of a resistor. So these two things we have to note, because with these two things only we have to draw the graph, because Ohm's law needs a graphical representation of two variables. And what are those very two variables? Those two variables are volt, that is the EMF of the battery, or the applied potential across the two ends of the circuit, and the current through the circuit. So these two variables we will be plotting in a graph. But before that, I don't know whether you have done the graphical representation properly, and for those very two classes where I did the class, I made it, but I don't know how far you can recollect. So I'll be just going for a little recap. We all know that to make one graphical representation, we have to go with at least two coordinate axes, and these axes are OX and OY, and these are the positive sides, OX and OY, and they are the negative sides also, and these are extended like this. So now you just concentrate on this region, and what we do, we know, and the last classes I think you have done the graphical representation of X and Y, where Y is a function of X. What does it mean? Suppose Y is equal to 2X plus 3. So in that case, Y is depending on X, that is X is changed, so with that respect Y is also getting changed. Now you see, if I am putting X to be 0, then what will be the value of Y? It will be 3. If I am putting X to be 1, what will be the value of Y? It will be 5. Now if I am putting X to be 2, it will be 7, and if I am putting X to be 3, Y will be 9. So now these are the coordinate axis, and this is the origin. So we consider that to be 0, 0 point, and therefrom we will be having the count of very small squares. So along X we will be counting, and along Y also we will be counting, and suppose in that way X and Y, X and Y, and X and Y, in that way we will be having so many points, and which are to be added by a line, and we will be having the graph. So I think so far you can understand, because already you have done the graphical representation. Now this is the graphical representation of this. Suppose now these X and Y are two arbitrary things, that is we can put anything on X and we can put anything on Y, but you have to understand and you have to keep in mind one thing, and what it is, that X and Y both are variables. But why we are putting X in this or this axis and Y in that axis? There is a specific reason, because on X Y is depending. Got the point? If X is changing, Y is changing. Suppose you are putting your age and height. So which one is to be put along X axis? Obviously age should be given along X axis, because age is changing, your height is changing. Because age is changing, your weight is changing. So you cannot put height along this. It is not happening that your height is changing, that is why age is changing. Got the point? So whenever we will be putting the variables, we have to keep in mind. And one more thing is very important, and I'll be just going with that thing, that is the slope of a graph. And why I'm discussing all these things? Because only not in your this class, but for future classes also, these are the very basic things you have to understand. For describing Ohm's law, there is one more thing, that is charge, time and current, how they are connected. If q amount of charge is flowing in t seconds and we are getting a current I, then we can say charge by time is represented by the current. That is, current equals charge by time. Coulomb by second equals ampere. Better to write Coulomb per second equals ampere. Now comes to Ohm's law. Now what the two variables we have to go with for Ohm's law? Voltage and current. That is, if we are just going for unit, it will be volt and it will be ampere. That is, through a circuit, if we are changing the potential that is acting through the circuit, that is, if the potential of the circuit is getting changed, then we can say that the EMF of the battery is getting changed. Then we can say that the current is also getting changed. And if we plot voltage and current, suppose this is along x-axis, so for this voltage, suppose this is the current, for this voltage, suppose this is the current, for this voltage, this is the current. So if we are having the points, we can see that the points are coming in such a way that if we are joining those very points, we can have just a straight line. So this is the graphical representation of Ohm's law. So how it is? It is just a straight line passing through the origin. So if the question is asked, how the graphical representation of Ohm's law we can have, our answer will be, it is just a straight line passing through the origin. Now come to the slope. Just I have discussed what is slope. Now to get the slope, what to do? I will be having one small right angle triangle for a very small section of this graph. Now this is what? This is perpendicular and this is base. Now if I am just having the lines like this, now you say, what is this? This is a very small portion cut from the current axis. So it is representing del I. And what is this? This is a very small portion that is cut from the x-axis, that is voltage. So that is del V. Okay. Now the slope, if I want to write, then what will be the slope? We know del Y by del X. That is, the slope will be coming del Y by del X. That is del I by del V. Okay. So, but before that, I missed one thing to say, that for Ohm's law, what to write? Just I have given you that Ohm's law represents that if potential difference is getting changed from the two terminals of the circuit, then current would also be changed. So can I write like this? V proportional to I, of course you can write, or V equals a constant into I, because from proportionality we have come to equality. Now what is R? R is the resistance of the circuit. Previously we had a lot of discussion on R, and we can have R from Ohm's law also. And what it is? R equals V by I. So Ohm equals volt by current. So if the potential of a circuit is given, that is if the EMF of the battery that is used in the circuit is given, and if the current through the circuit is also given, then I can have R. Or if the resistance and current is given, I can have V. or if V and R is given, I can have I. So this is very important representation of Ohm's law, and you have to remember this because lots of numerics you have to do with this. Just I have told you that from this graph, that is if voltage is along x-axis and current is along y-axis, we can have the graphical representation like a straight line passing through the origin, and the slope we are getting like del I by del V. Now tell me what it is, current by voltage. So, and just I have got resistance is equals voltage by current. So can I say that is this slope is just reciprocal of the resistance? Of course we can, because we can write it like this, 1 divided by del V by del I. What does it mean? Del V by del I means change of velocity, change of voltage with respect to current, and here also you see V by I. So can I write the slope of this graph? So it is equals 1 by resistance. Can I put? Because I have already got slope is del y by del x, that is del I by del v, or it is just 1 by del v by del I. So it is reciprocal of R. Slope of this graph is representing reciprocal of resistance, and it is known as conductance. So one more thing, if I am intending to have the graph in such a way that we are getting by the slope resistance itself. Got my point? This graph is representing the reciprocal of resistance. Okay. Now is it possible for us to draw a graph in such a way that the slope is representing the resistance itself? You just think, and if possible you draw the graph and you send me the answer. This is the basic format of a circuit, that is, this is one key, that is, this is a switch. We can make the circuit on or off by this. This is one battery, and there are two lines to represent the battery. The longer one is representing positive and the shorter one is representing negative. And this is resistance. Suppose for our household working, or I can put one bulb over here because that is also one resistance. And this is what ammeter. Ammeter means this is the device by which we can detect the current through the circuit. And what is this? This is one voltmeter. This is one voltmeter, and it is to be connected across any of the thing. If I am just putting the voltmeter across this battery, I can have the EMF of the battery. That is, suppose we are using 6 volt battery. So, and if we are just putting one voltmeter here, we can get the reading of the voltmeter to be 6 volt. And if I am putting 1 voltmeter here across the resistance, so we can have what is the potential that is dropped here due to the resistance. So only you just get, this is the diagram of a circuit. And one more important thing is there. Suppose Q charge is carried through a potential difference, and as we know that whenever current is flowing through a circuit, there is charge only flowing. Now let us consider the charge is flowing from VA to VB. Charge is flowing from VA to VB. Now what is the work done? If the difference of charge I know, and if I know the charge what is carried, then we can have the work done. And what is the work done? Work done equals V into Q. That is, work done equals the change of potential if it is suppose 100 volt and if it is suppose 50 volt. Then what is the difference of potential? 50. If it is suppose 90 volt, if it is suppose 70 volt. So what is the difference of potential? It is 20. So that difference of potential here into the charge carried. Suppose I am saying that 5 coulomb of charge is carried from this potential to that potential. So the difference of potential we can have, and if we are putting the difference of potential here and the charge here, the product of these two will be giving you work done. So that is given in joule, that is given in volt, and that is given in coulomb. So if it is given in millicoulomb, suppose, so if it is given in millicoulomb or if it is given in millivolt, so you have to transfer this in volt and coulomb, and then you will be getting this in terms of joule, because this is all are in SI. And today I have given you all the formula, that is basic formula. Why? Because I will be giving some of the numerics. Okay, so that is the homework that I have given for the graphical representation of resistance by the slope, and the numerics I will be also giving. And till then, good day.